Tonight on Reporting Scotland. 100 days until the Holyrood election, the campaign for your vote starts to build.
On a day-to-day basis, the Rep Scot director would come in. We normally come in just before 9 o'clock in the morning. There's a meeting at 9:15 with the reporters, the producer of the day. We normally chat about the programme the night before, have a wee kind of debrief, and then we discuss stories that are about that day.
Well, for me, on a daily basis, there is no such thing as normal. A lot of us here are all-rounders, so we're trained to do lots of different things. Last week, for example, I did a couple of shifts to set up the Good Morning Scotland programme. So you start at lunchtime, you work till late at night, setting up the programme for the next day. Also, last week I did a shift on the radio bulletins desk, so we're sub-editing material coming in, compiling the hourly bulletins, also presenting them. And this week, last night, went to shot a story on location, stayed up till 3 in the morning, editing the package for radio, which was broadcast at 7:20 in the morning. I had about 3 or 4 hours sleep, and I've just come back in to do the television edit for the lunchtime Reporting Scotland bulletin. So as you can see, it's quite a varied bag.
The main team for the studio doesn't arrive till 4:30 in the afternoon, other than the director, graphics and some editors for the lunchtime show. The cameras here are all remotely controlled in the gallery.
We'll go away and I'll speak to our graphics designers and I'll chat to them about what graphics we might require throughout the day. If any of the reporters might require graphics for their packs, I'll let them know about that, and I'll prepare for the lunchtime bulletin. I'll direct the lunchtime bulletin from the BCR, which is the broadcast control room, and we don't have a gallery staff for that, so it's just more or less the director and the TO that output that.
There is then a debrief of the lunchtime show where the pros and cons are discussed for improvement for future shows.
We get the crew in for Reporting Scotland. They come in about 4:30, and I'll go in and I'll chat to them about what's going to happen in the programme that night, and we'll start to look at shots and look at the graphics, and we'll rehearse some things. Then we just get ready for the programme.
Later on, the crew will arrive and begin to set up their own equipment and get ready for rehearsals.
BBC One, we can now join the BBC's news teams where you are. Goodbye.
Tonight on Reporting Scotland. 100 days until the Holyrood election, the campaign for your vote starts to build. Good evening. A man has been arrested after a shopkeeper was shot in the leg during an attempted robbery at a convenience store in Yoker in Glasgow on Sunday. The 25-year-old who's been detained is expected to appear at Glasgow Sheriff Court tomorrow. As Burns Night was marked across the country, refugees from Syria and elsewhere were welcomed to a multicultural Burns supper in Glasgow, all part of efforts to help them understand more about Scottish culture. Yes, hardy souls in Shetland. Let's stay with the weather now. Christopher is here, ready and waiting with the forecast. Any sign of a let-up in the wind and rain that's caused so much havoc?
Yes, but briefly, I'm afraid. Thank you very much, Sally. Hello there. It's been a really miserable day of weather right across the country. Plenty of rain. We've seen between 1 inch and 2 inches of rain in places, leading to some localised flooding like Aberfoyle there.
Once the programme is complete, the team will begin to pack up and prepare all their equipment for the following day. Most of them head home, while some others continue their edits for the next morning.
It wasn't one of these programmes that sets the heather alight and has you sitting on the edge of your seat, and I can't imagine any of you in the studio watching it were particularly
grabbed by much of the news, but you know, some news days are incredibly busy, and they're the ones that we all love, because when things are happening and breaking on it while you're on the air, they're the best, obviously. So you know, it was a good programme. It just wasn't one that you might go away and remember, but then neither it was one of the ones that you go in try to forget because it just went so badly wrong.